There we go. Hello. Welcome on back. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Happy Monday, by the way, guys. Hope you all are having a good start to your week. Do apologize for that start there. That did not really go as planned. Meaning that I forgot to turn off my animated wallpaper music. Oops. Anyway, back on the new map. Some people yesterday were actually kind of requesting that I play this a little bit more. So we're going to give it a go. I do want to try one thing, though, while we're at it. Somebody suggested that you can line up the industries using the turntable. So we're gonna give that a go. Now, it's not really the best platform to do it. Yeah, because as you can see there, it's not level. So turntable can actually be like really precise on this. That actually kind of works a lot better than I thought it would. Ah, okay. Might have to mess around with that a little bit later. Is that not? There we go. Wouldn't let me delete. That's how to align track. Yeah, so let me explain that for you guys that do not know. So the track in the game will align to a world grid. The industries do not. The industries align to literally whatever angle that you are looking at, and then we'll set that as 0. Meaning that if you are looking at, I don't know, say 60.4 degrees, and while you're placing an industry, that industry will then think that it's at 0, and thus it will be 0.4 degrees off of the world alignment, no matter which way you put it. So yeah, that's not great. That's rather unfortunate. Anyway, we got the Zuma. Baby Zuma. I missed those two there. There we go. Let that warm up. But yeah, hello to everybody. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon for you guys. Hope everybody's been doing a-okay. If you guys didn't catch the stream yesterday, we took a look at the update, obviously. And we did get started on a railroad. I did hear something about the devs apologizing, thinking that they were right about having this set up the way that they did. So I think, and do not quote me because I don't know for sure, that we may or may not see an actual official map or official version of the new map with industries placed where they think they should be intended to go. And not give players just an empty map, which is ridiculous. Because I've been seeing things like non-stop, like all across, like Discord, Steam, YouTube here, like people in my comments It's like, yeah, they really did not think anything through. Anyway, we're not here really to kind of talk about that. You should not be dealing with old splines at this point, especially on this map, where that would be an issue. The only place that would actually be an issue would be on the old map, not the new ones. Okay, slapping. Anyway, we're gonna run some logs, trying to get our log pond filled before we even go and either buy new equipment and or build. So I actually don't know how far we'll kind of get today. We'll see where the stream takes us and go from there. But if you all have been playing the new update, let me know how it's been going for you guys. I know there's been a few people in my community that have been trying it out and seeing how things go. A few other individuals that I know have also been playing it, and I've not really been happy with it, so. No, right, so I'm not going to get back into this conversation too much, but just because you commented there, Gamer Joe, about the industries. Yeah, it is in some cases 50-50. There are people that do like it because they do like, you know, having the creative freedom. The downside is that there are like one or two industries, mainly like the iron mine and the sawmill, seem to be giving people the most trouble with in terms of finding a place to place them. Yeah, in the case of the iron mine in particular, the iron mine is rather ugly to try and figure out how to place. And I hope this is come on, line up a drop, line up a drop, line up a drop. And yoink. Okay, cool. But yeah, in the case of the iron mine, they should have included like the original stone wall that was a part of the map. Oop, I misclicked there. A part of the original iron mine on the old map, which we did not get this map. Now, I do understand some of the logic that the devs, or quote-unquote devs, gave about how this map was released, being that they wanted to give players, obviously, the creative freedom, but not everybody has that sort of creativity, let alone the patience to go through and place all the industries, which is where a lot of the complaints were coming from. But furthermore, their logic continued, saying that they wanted it that way, so in the case that new industries would ever be added, which sounds like they do plan on having new industries, that it wouldn't be too much of an issue as it would be on the old map, where players might have a rail line. Why is this not moving? This isn't on, is it? No. Okay, that should move. Yeah, so it wouldn't be as bad as, say, players having a brand new industry spawn on something that they've built. So giving the players the creative ability to move the industries at will was kind of their solution to that. Now, the counter argument there is really they should not have considered doing another map until the game was out of early access, in my opinion, personal opinion there, because there is a ton of stuff that needs to be fixed in this game, and this really, what bothers me the most right now is like this whole new map kind of just makes it seem like they're ignoring the call to like fix a lot of the stuff that is wrong with the game, and the companies that they've hired, such as like Astragon, the publisher, who said they were going to help with the coding and still haven't, and Black Sheep Studio, which is more focused on mobile games than any PC game they've ever touched, said they were going to do some code corrections, and really there still hasn't been any improvements anywhere. So yeah, this anniversary update has really seemed to be just a giant eye candy distraction more than anything else. You know, there's definitely a lot of other things that should have been focused on before this should have even been remotely considered. But, you know, here we are. New map. People are already hitting it, and this is where we're at. Please auto-load. Oh, there it goes. Alright. I do like these cars. They're cute, but they are terrible to use. And the only reason I'm using them right now is because they're cheap. Actually, these cars are also just broken because they're way more efficient than the bigger ones. More cost effective, more space efficient, hauling efficient. There's so much wrong with this game in terms of progression, especially with placing the industries on like this new map. It's like you can very much in any of these like 2 or 3 large open areas place all the industries and just complete the game that way. You know, it just I get giving the option to players is a good idea, but it should have been done in a way that would have been a little bit more constructive. Such being able to say complete the map first with the intended industries before allowing players to go and pick them up. You know, give the players a challenge or, you know, the satisfaction of earning the ability to move the industries rather than just giving them out of the gate, because you're really cutting down on replayability, or rather playtime on that actually. But I mean, the argument does go both ways, being that this sort of thing can also increase replayability, because obviously it's an in-house feature to move the industries, but we already had third-party tools that pretty much just covered that. And it just like it's honestly is a little bit of a slap in the face to the third-party devs that definitely worked their hearts out on trying to provide something nice for the community. USRA, they would probably argue otherwise, and they have actually been arguing otherwise, that COS has had no influence on any of the recent content being added to the game, which could be true. I mean, these few things that they've added into the game could have taken months, and it would have been more believable, say, if all the props were actually made in-house and not store-bought assets. Or, you know, they actually did time to do proper research and not copy a LGB scale model, a Bachmann model of a passenger car that actually isn't even historically accurate itself. So, yeah, it's a little uncanny in some regards on, you know, some of the stuff that's been added. But it becomes even more hilarious when you see posts from COS just essentially memeing on RO's development at this point. A good example was RO announced signs coming into the game, which COS had already planned because they were the models that were used in both games actually were modeled by the same person. Yeah, it was just funny seeing them add the signs saying that they won't be editable, and then COS tweeting out either that day or like the next day saying, "Oh, hey, by the way, we're gonna have signs in the game and they're gonna be editable," which was already the intent, and COS has already performed that quality of life a lot better than ROs have. And a good example of that is if you grab one of the signs that you can actually edit, and I don't know which one it is. Sign text, okay. Yeah, if you just go and do that, say, you'll actually only have a certain amount of space on this sign, where in COS they've already shown signs that are bigger than this with custom text on it. So it's kind of safe to assume that by the looks of it, that the signs will actually scale to the text for the ones that are customizable. But I don't know. Again, it is what it is. There is some speculation to it, obviously, and obviously, produce your own educated opinion or theories. Hello, Garen. Welcome on back. Anyway, we're gonna go to our sawmill now. Yeah, no, Pyro, I understand being excited for COS. I've known about COS, actually. I knew the existence of the game even back when I was community manager for Railroads Online, believe it or not. I didn't really see anything of it until quite a few months ago. And it's been very, very hard. Especially up in those months up to, the game even just being announced. Trying to keep it under wraps because everybody that knew about it, plus the people that were working on it, we're all very, very excited about just announcing the game. So I'm more than happy to let that game obviously just cook and sit and be the best that it can be, because I know it's in the right hands of the right people. That game is definitely going to be the most immersive experience I think you'll ever have for a train sim, let alone most any other game to begin with. So I'm very, very excited. I cannot wait. We have games like Railroads Online to tie us over, and there's some other ones too that we can get into play. Somebody was asking for something somewhat similar in terms of a first-person train game that you can place your own track. So if you guys haven't heard of Loco Shortline Operations, that's another game. That game kind of lacks in visual quality, but I actually talked to the developer of that game recently, Joe, who's a very wonderful person if you ever get the chance to talk to him. And he said he's actually hopefully getting some additional help, including with finances, to help improve the quality of Loco. So hopefully we'll see that in the near future. But yeah, we got Derail Valley that looks incredibly immersive. I actually been meaning to check out Derail Valley again. I've played the simulation update once or twice since it's come out. I really need to get back in there because I started a new save and I didn't really play it yet. And then tomorrow a new game comes out, and I won't be able to stream it because I don't stream on Tuesdays, mainly because I just end up being busy. So hopefully either Wednesday, if I'm just obnoxiously excited, or Thursday at the least, I'll be streaming a new game for you guys that I've just been very, very excited. A very nice, cute, cozy game that I love. Can you lay your own track in Derail Valley? No, you cannot. I don't know. I haven't looked at Derail Valley's roadmap in a long while. I know that they have a lot planned for that game. But I do not know if they are planning on letting players at some point in the future to lay their own track. I do not think they do, but I could be wrong. There's a lot of other things too that are big on Derail Valley's list, and not every game allows you, or needs, I should say, needs to give you the ability to lay your own track. It is nice. It gives a very nice sandboxy feel. But even for Derail Valley is one of those games where I feel like it doesn't really need it, because the game is just so well constructed to begin with. And even with the addition of, say, multiplayer for Derail Valley, which is something I'm pretty sure they want to do, that would be just game-changing to begin with, because Derail Valley is a very challenging game in a unique way with timetables, you know, freight hauling, logistics, all that fun stuff. Very, very well physics. And I think even just with the addition of multiplayer, whether it's co-op or even just like something that you can have as a session where you have maybe 8 or so people all running their own trains, like that would be a challenge. You know, that'd be a very wonderful challenge for Derail Valley. And I don't think it's something, in my opinion, that needs a feature like track building for Derail Valley. You know, it's just one of those games where it's so complex in its own way that it doesn't need that sort of creative freedom. Now, obviously, that community expresses their creative freedoms through other means, mainly their modding workshop community, which is amazing. So if anybody there plays Derail Valley, I do recommend looking at their modding community, the workshop community. I've seen a lot of wonderful but also very cursed things in that modding community. Pyro, I think that's actually for the time being. I've heard a few times actually from them saying that they would like to do multiplayer. It just might be something that we won't see for a few years. At least last I heard. Again, I could be wrong, but I do believe there was a mod for Derail Valley for multiplayer too at one point. I don't remember it working too well from what I've heard. Anyway, approaching the sawmill. One of the very only few locations you can actually place a sawmill. It's right out flat in the lake, which makes sense. Start throwing some brakes. Whoops. Oh, crap. Alright, we started out with 1,300, so we should end up with 1,800. Choo-choo. Come on, Zuma. I know you can do it. I don't want to give her too much power here. Hello? Jugga? No? We're still very much filling up our sawmill. I'm hoping that we can at least make enough money before the sawmill fills up to buy a new engine on top of, you know, other cars that we would need. No, none of the brakes were set. Hello, King. Welcome on back. Oh, crap. Unload. Alright. So we should have 1,800, which we do. Alright, we are now doing our return loop. I'm really hoping we don't have any derails this time because we did build all this yesterday and we did 1 or 2 runs on it and sometimes it just seemed like we would randomly derail, so hopefully we're not going to get that today. Who knows though? sold all your great cars in the beginning. You can't sell them though. Or by sell, do you mean just delete them? Oh, nice. We're going to the right this time. The Zuma is a very nice engine for this. How did I get the groundwork to float in the water? Magic. Very much magic. Hello, camp. Welcome on back. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, by the way. Yeah, the Zuma is a very pretty engine. It's a nice, small engine. Good starter engine, in my opinion. I don't think it's the best one, but, you know. Yeah, I don't know on that map. I think the Greg cars only cost 200. Unless you're talking about like the original login cars, then yeah, they would be 300. I'll tell you what, it's been a while since I've like genuinely bought rolling stock in this game because my other save, we just have like probably 150 units of rolling stock just on the map. And it is a lag fest in some areas. But I'm hoping we can get back up into those ridiculous numbers on this map. And just hopefully have better performance, but we'll see. Alright, so far so good. Looks like we haven't lost any of our cars. Well, Garen, there were some very old concepts back, probably 2 years at this point, or a year and a half, maybe at best. Or at least, you know what? No, it actually probably was right about when I first started playing. So almost about 2 years ago. There were some concepts back then where they were going to extend the original map off to the east. Where there was another tile essentially the same size. And as far as what I remember, the intent was to potentially add tunnels that you would build by supplying the materials needed, thus, creating an opening to a new area that you could have new industries and new materials and more progression after you completed the first map. Or the first half of the map, enough. Camp Freak, I personally wouldn't call this a high point of the game. I would not. Anyway, back to that concept though. However, clearly that never happened. But yeah. No, I wouldn't call this the high point of or peak of Railroads Online. Absolutely not. Would not call it that. High point for the game was like 2 years ago. Maybe a year and like 9 months when the game was really being promoted. And was really fun for a lot of people, despite like the minimum amount of content and, you know, significantly a lot less bugs back then than there were now. That I would consider the high point of the game. You know, right after the physics update, where they rebalanced all the loads and all that, and before the spline update, essentially. That I would call the peak for this game. Not now. Nope. Definitely not now. There was a certain spark of the game that it had back then that this game just doesn't have anymore. Alright, I'm actually gonna stop right here with our engine. Gonna get off to the right so we have somewhere to walk. I'm gonna check our inventory here on the logs. Now we do have our industry on hard. At least I'm pretty sure that's what I put it on. And we are 80 out of 100. Okay. So we're running about 10 cars, 50 logs per run. So that should get us pretty much full in about 3 trips. So we are at 1,800. 3 trips from now, it's another 1,500. Like 33. So that will get us actually some decent money. Not for anything, you know, really significant like the C70 or anything, but King is unlikely we'll see any sort of quote-unquote excavation update for this game, in my opinion. Railroads Online is not the best optimized performance out there, for sure. But especially for the first map, the Pine Valley map, you'll never see any sort of terrain editing for that map. This one, we're not entirely sure how this map was made. However, I still feel like it was kind of made the same, so I don't know. I'm not having hopes for any sort of terrain editing on this map either. Which would also... well, actually, I can't say that would include tunnels, because tunnels are pretty straightforward on how they can do them. However, they still, quote-unquote, haven't figured out how to do that yet, so we'll see if that actually ever happens. But yeah, I would not hold my breath personally for anything about excavating or terrain editing for this game at this point. They have fixed some stuff from the blogs, but there's so many simple things they could do for this game that would really increase its quality again. You know, they recently, quote-unquote, had a quality of life update, which really wasn't a quality of life update. It made a few things that actually were more annoying than actual quality. So, no. I mean, there have been some improvements, but there's still been a lot of disappointment across the board. I think another thing too, thinking about this map and how they gave you the option to place your own industries, it was kind of a bit of a slap in the face to the person that made, I think it was Railroads Online Studio, one of the third-party tools that allowed you to, you know, to rearrange and/or add industries. And it was a lot of things. It was a tool that was used quite a bit by the community, but not everybody used it. And I don't know. It's kind of a slap in the face having that ability in game. I mean, it's great, but after they've also already said that they wanted to kind of push away from having any support of the third-party tools, which they cannot stop by any means possible. There's no way they could stop anybody from creating a third-party tool to help this game. What they should be doing is actually making it easier for third-party devs to help support this game, is what they should have been doing. And the reason I say that is because a lot of those third-party tools exist because there's a lack of quality of life that should have been there in the first place. Now, it's one thing for a studio or a game developer to see that and actually fix those issues, but the way they did it with this was just not how you do it. Because they thought that creating a map where people have to place their own industries to even get started in the game was a good idea, and it wasn't. Because there's a lot of people that just wanted to jump into the new map, explore it, and, you know, go out and find the industries like they did for the first map and really explore it that way, not having to run around for hours on the map trying to just find a simple spot to place the logging camp or the sawmill or the iron ore mine. No, there should have been proper support built for third-party tools, especially in a game like this where quality of life is very, very thin. And again, guys, by the way, this is all my own just honest opinions of the game. I'm sure everybody has their own thoughts on certain things. Obviously, you guys are entitled to those. So please don't take anything I say out of hate or whatnot. I just feel like there's a lot that could have been done better for this game, and it's not being done. Anyway, back to loading more logs. Finding a decent spot on this is so hard. First logging camp I placed turned out to be unusable because it was too deep in a dip. I mean, well, there's a difference because you can place things in areas where it would definitely be a challenge, and that's something I tried to do for myself because there were some industries on you know, the old map, like the southern three industries in Pine Valley, the refinery, the oil field, and the ironworks. Those were not challenging locations whatsoever. Aside from the refinery, which had maybe a slight incline on a small, like, shallow plateau. That's not really a challenge. The challenging industries in that game were the iron mine, or the coal mine even. Just the coal mine was just challenging simply because it was so far away, no matter how you did it. But yeah, I can show you guys a good example here too. If I open my map and show you guys my refinery. My refinery is actually very okay. This is another thing that aggravates me. I don't think this was at all planned. Please take away the hitbox for this frickin' door. I don't want to have to fight the door just to get out of something quickly. Anyway, sorry. Didn't mean to get angry there for a second. But I'll pop open an industry real quick here just so you guys can see. And kind of like place that hopefully to the side. so I can fly here. There. So there is my oil field and, refinery. But if we fly out over here, you guys can see that we're actually pretty high up here. And that's my logging line there, part of it. So we gotta go pretty far out of our way to not only get up here, but to then eventually deliver out of here. So this is what I mean. Like, there's not really any level land up here other than the one spot that I found. Like, you can maybe place an industry there if you're lucky. But yeah, no, this was one of the things I was talking about. Now, I did this too because it was the refineries usually, well, not even usually, it is the last industry that you go to in this game. In terms of like supply chain progression. So I really wanted something to kind of be rewarding, getting up here, you know, doing the deliveries, and then eventually going out to the freight depot. So if we open up the map, you guys can see that refinery right here, and our freight depots are actually down here. It's not the farthest thing, but it's probably going to be a lot of track building just to get there, and I have no idea how I'm actually going to do it at the moment. So we'll get there at some point, but I have no idea how that's going to even look. But yeah, we're going to teleport back to our logging camp here. Stop fighting the door. They've made a new thing so easily annoying. There's no need to have a hitbox on that door at all, period. Oops. Stop it. Oh, hey, fatal error. Wow, what a surprise. Yay! This is exactly this right here. This is my point in case with the state of this game. This is a bug. The F menu crash bug that has been in the game for over a year and a half, if not longer. And it's still here. There's a brand new map, whole new eye candy galore everywhere, and we're still dealing with this just absolute garbage. Anyway, give me a minute. Try and you know, lose my mind, because now I'm back to I'm down $500 now. I got to do an extra run. But that's okay. Railroads Online has no bugs. They're just called features. Physics, realistic, industry, hard, password. Why does this game suck? Actually, the password for the server is actually kind of funny, but nobody's gonna guess it. Garen, you throw in a whole other slew of variables with any sort of third-party tool that you're running in the background for this game in terms of bugs. Don't get me wrong, the extender is great for what it does and what it has done in the past. But it can also cause some issues itself. So, yes, you get that quality of life out of it, but there are just some things that it just doesn't work. Anyway, back to square one. Let's load up our log train the first time around again. And yeah, let's have some fun. By the way, if you guys are wondering why I'm not running the autosave feature, it's because it is spamming the save folder again. In case anybody's been using that feature and hasn't noticed. Do I have Extender running? No, I don't use Extender. I very, very rarely use Extender, and I did use Extender for a very short amount of time. But no, not right now. Not with the new map. Especially not right after a new update, too. There's really only one third-party tool that I did actually like using, and it was Sheridan's backup tool, world backup tool, which no matter the update, it always worked. It was always perfect. Is it you, or does the Locos max out at about 15 miles per hour in Lake Valley? I do not know, because I have not had a Locomotive other than the Montezuma. Oh look, it's loading both cars automatically this time. How cute. By the way, I know I've been doing a lot of this stream. If y'all are okay with my complaining and you all are actually enjoying the stream, please give me a smile. It does help knowing that you guys are actually enjoying some of the content despite all my whinging. Oh, nice, Karen. Oh, we got one smile in chat. Glad to know somebody at least is enjoying the content. Yeah, hopefully we'll have some more content for you guys coming soon. Maybe Wednesday if I'm feeling up to it, I might record something. Because there's been a game that I've had in my Steam inventory for a good while now that I've been meaning to play since like last Christmas. And I just never got into it, so. Or rather never sat down to play it, I should say. But yeah, if you guys are actually generally enjoying the content, then that's awesome. And speaking of content, there is a little bit of content being pushed out in other forms. I've been doing some stuff that's more sort of real style content. By real, I mean like a short mobile video type deal on platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. I do not know if I'll be posting anything to Facebook at any point, but you guys may see myself appear on your feeds if you have those platforms. I've been doing TikTok maybe at least like once a week, or at least during the weekends. Most of that so far has been model train related content, although I did actually post a clip from one of our Discord Minecraft streams recently on those platforms, which actually didn't do all that bad. It actually almost had about 1,000 views on that one. So yeah, we'll be posting some additional content in other platforms moving forward. you were playing this map, you would pick the Shay and the 2-axle wagons. If you're going to run, like, in my opinion, any sort of remote representation of a logging railroad on this map, the Shay would be a good pick because it's a logging engine. But I would pick the skeleton log car over anything else, over the 2 axles or anything else. I'm doing an update to me playing Rolling Line? Huh? I did not mention Rolling Line. I'm doing model railroading content as in actual physical models that are very expensive. It's actually been more clips more than anything else. Yeah, we'll go with this. Hopefully this works. These cranes haven't really ever been precise to begin with. Really? Neither of you are okay, we're gonna play this game then. Back to manual loading. But yeah, no, they've been, my content on other platforms has actually been more clip style. I have played Rolling Line not all that long ago. I don't think I'll play it unless there's another update anytime soon. Any other noteworthy update. But there are some other games too we'll be getting into. And I may take clips from like streams like this and also upload it, depending on what happens, obviously. I don't know. It's something that I'm also just kind of experimenting with to see where it goes to. So, again, we'll see how it goes. I really do not like using this F menu UI control system. It is horrible. Loading logs, loading logs, loading logs. Hashtag highball win. Smile. Really? You guys are gonna load the one car that's in between the two that are actually in front of you? And again, I say Railroads Online has no bugs. No! Sorry, I opened my bottle and the cap fell. Yeah, if you're new to the game, I do recommend finishing Pine Valley or doing Pine Valley first before touching this map. And hope that they actually come out with placeable industries first. Hitboxes, gotta love them, yep. Cargo works in mysterious ways. Yeah, well, the cranes have been like that for a very long time. They've actually, I'm pretty sure they've almost always been like this. They have a pretty wide loading range, believe it or not. Yeah, well, of course, the industries between Pine Valley and Lake Valley are the exact same. They're gonna operate the exact same. The only good thing that has come from this anniversary update, actually, I can't even really say that as a good thing because they did fix an issue, but not a great fix. Being that if anybody has had any experience with moving industries on the older map, knows that the oil barrels on the refinery loading platforms, they tend to not roll properly if the industry's any other angle than its original one. They fixed this, however, because obviously we have a new map where they focused on letting us place our industries, in which case that particular bug would have been an issue. However, the barrels now just spawn in the air on top of where the cars would be, rather than having any sort of rolling animation. It's really just all you had to do was fix a very simple thing, and you've made it look worse, and doing it whatever way you thought was intelligent. It would not have been a hard fix whatsoever, period. Anyway, hey, by the way, guys, let's do our first log run of the stream, Smile. Because definitely not having deja vu right now. Nope, not at all. Not a thing that's happened. By the way, that was like one of the very first time in a very long while I've actually had Unreal Engine crash on me like that. The freight does have some physics to it, but very, very little. But yeah, they could have easily have done that a lot better than what they did. Maybe save? I'll save when I unload. Just somebody remind me, please. Because I'll forget. Oh, getting like a small little bit of rubber banding there for some reason. I actually don't know why. Chugga 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 choo choo. With zoom, it does have a nice, cute little whistle to it. I just love that you can't even see John Robertson's neck. It's just shirt, jacket, ribbon tie thing. Not to mention his... Oh, actually, they do have him sitting or standing actually level with the cab. For once. And this map does have different types of trees. Yes, it does, actually. Surprise! We got variety. And we've got rocks that we log on this map. Yeah, John Robertson's head is one with the roof, for sure. Yeah, because if I stand over there, you can see the tip of his hat and the feet through the floorboard. It wouldn't be so bad if they just let you, like, sit somewhere. But first person is just useless. You crouch, you're at the firebox level. You can stick your head out the window, but you gotta hold it. It's annoying. Anyway, I feel like I might end up making this the official logging train. I may buy a Shay at a later point for this logging line because I do plan on having it isolated. They won't have any other freight moving on this line at all. And any other like firewood depot is just going to be supplied with cordwood. Which we actually haven't laid any out yet either. Yeah, we have Mount Rushmore of conductors. Mount Railroad Rushmore. I have no idea why they won't scale him down, which is amazing because right now, as is, John Robertson I think is like something ridiculous, like 6'5", which is just ungodly tall for the time period, let alone this time period for the most part. The man is actually a giant. And not at all scale. Hi, Nasu. It's not because Kumi is lazy. Kumi is an amazing person. It's just fine as is. Smile. Ugh. That'd be at like $2,300. Just trying to make money here. By the way, guys, what's the first engine we should work towards? Actually, no, we probably ought to buy a new engine after we load the log pond. And at least one car. Some rubber banding going on there for some reason. I don't know why. Money. Rolling unload. Yeah, players have wanted like any sort of remotely simulated like sitting position. Because even when you crouch, anybody that looks at you like third person wise, you don't appear crouched whatsoever. It's just you're always in a constant state of standing, regardless if you are crouching yourself or not. Well, yeah, Nasi, you did a 4% grade. All right, please be close enough to. Okay, that's actually selling. Nice. All right, 1800. We are level 2, by the way. So we're going to save. Yeah. Confirm. Yes. Thank you. Back. Oh, options. Let's. Options. Controls. Back. Gameplay. Why did I have to open up controls for gameplay to show? Random. Yeah, crouching is not an animation. That was kind of my point. You're playing Trumpet's version of the map? Yeah, that's Blueberry Valley Part 2 or 2.0. Sure, that's going to turn out to be a wonderful map. Yeah, of course the whole suggested map things is a mess. And rather than saying, oh, we hear you guys and will provide an actual official map that they should have done in the first place with industries that were pre-placed or properly placed. No, they just said, oh, here's a Discord channel of maps that our quote-unquote devs have put together that we thought would be cool. You know how lazy that looks? And short-sighted? There was so little consideration for this update, it wasn't even funny. Yes, Naso, because that's what they think is an authentic representation of narrow gauge railroading in the American Midwest. Oh no, those maps don't mistake me. Those maps are not official. Those devs, quote unquote devs, made a channel on a whim on Discord to supply people with their own personal maps that they created, calling them official when they're not. It was a lazy, quick excuse to calm the community that was already hating on them and ripping them apart. But no, what they should have done is they should have came out with a new map. Not only had industries properly placed in a way that would have been challenging and actually showed that they had put any sort of thought into this map design, but also should have waited on releasing a new map until they actually had a new industry chain. But no, that's not what they did. How's the fun times going? Good, Will. Welcome on in. We did a entirely full run, loaded up a second train, and then crashed because the F menu bug still exists. Nope. Nope. Like I said, Pyro, there was not enough consideration or thinking when this map was made, let alone released. Okay, I need this weather to not be so small or so quick. Options, gameplay. In minutes. Need a calculator. Weather transition. Set the weather transition time. When the weather type is random, selected is the duration a second. Alright, it's 1912. Set the weather transition time in seconds. When weather type random is selected, this is the duration in seconds for a random. Okay. That's in seconds? Why is there a minute of weather? 60 times 30? 1800? Vehicle view distance. Why is this in here? 500. Back. Back. Continue. Oh, wow. It's dark. Better turn my light on. This actually, in hindsight, was not the best idea. Enter for time of day. So what I did there was actually 720 minutes is 12 hours. So 12 hours a daytime, 12 hours a nighttime. And I set a 30-minute weather pattern. Although I don't have an engine with a light on, so I might have to fix that, the time of day. So let's go options, gameplay, go 1700. There we go. At least it's evening-ish. Well, it should have... There was originally a concepted option, which I guess you kind of have it, to have a real-time day and night cycle in the game. Which I don't mind simulating because it just feels right. Even though this whole route would not take the amount of time it takes to do. But I set it for about like 5 in the evening, basically. I like how you need to remove the comma on the timer for it to accept a new time. Did you? I was not paying that much attention to it. Yeah, realistically, it shouldn't be 12 and 12. It probably would be like 6 and 18. 18 hours a day and 6 hours a night. No, actually, I take that back. 16 and 8. Yeah. Depending on the time of the year, I guess, and where you live. Oh, that is painful to look at. Oh, why am I seeing that? Come on. Look at those textures on the wheels. I know that's probably been a thing for the longest time. I have no idea why I've not seen it till now, but really, guys? Come on. Is it that hard to actually align textures properly? Stream delay sometimes also depends on what, people set it to, Nasu. I could set the delay to be like 2 or 3 minutes if I really wanted to. I'm not that kind of person, but... Yeah, sorry if I ruined the, Montezuma for anybody in chat. Apologies. Although I am not sorry. Time to burn the engine. Yeah, I know. Alright, forward. Faster than that, please. You wish the Montezuma is real? I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, all the engines are real engines. I don't know if there's a restored one anywhere. I would imagine there is. I'm just not the person to ask that at the moment. Because I would not know. Yeah, but why would you tell me to slow down? Especially when songs like Kenosha are playing. Yeah, the Montezuma is a real engine. I just, again, I don't know if there's one that's been restored or if there's one left in the world somewhere. Montezuma was turned into a boiler. Oh boy. That's unfortunate. I wouldn't be surprised though. I mean, there are some, I guess organizations you would call them, or foundations, that go and actually recreate some of these engines, even though the original ones have been scrapped, like the T1 Trust. Although I don't see the Montezuma being a popular enough engine to earn such a rebuild, but you know, you never know. No, I mean, exactly right, Nasu. I mean, the railroads would not have thought of, you know, especially the very early on railroads would not have thought of at all preserving any of the engines when they could be sold back for scrap or rebuilt for something else. Heist may or may not be planned. If Heist plans, it somehow manages to get a Montezuma rebuilt somewhere, that would be a treat to see. If they do that, that would be awesome. Yeah, a lot cheaper than the Pennsylvania T1. That's for sure. But There ought to do. Speaking of like engines being restored, I know there's nothing out there that's planning it, but I was having a conversation with a friend about GG1s, and there's about like 16 GG1s left in the country, and they're at various museums. You guys can find them. They're actually, museums are all over the country, and not just on the East Coast. But I would love to see any of the GG1s, especially on the East Coast where the electric corridor is, be restored to run again. There are a few that have been preserved, but none of them are operational. And as far as I've been told, what it would take would be a complete like internal electrical rebuild of one of those GG1s to be restored. To operate properly again, that is. But I think a modern GG1 would be a treat to see. Whether it be Conrail, Penn Central, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania would be an absolute treat to see a Penn State GG1 again. Running the rails, that is. Do the smaller cars still count as one per log? Each log is a log on the car, so the cars hold 5 logs because you see 5 logs. Does that answer your question? Yee. Hope so. Intelligente. Yeah, these sugarcane cars are a lot more, or plantation cars are a lot more efficient than anything else in the game. Both space, finance, and just running in general. Oh yeah, no, these cars break a huge amount of progression in this game. And that's, again, circling back to my whinging earlier, with there being a lot of things that they could very easily do to fix this game. Rebalancing these cars would definitely be one of them. The only balanced right now fact is these cars tend to derail quite easily. I need my water. Oh, that was the Stacking Long song. Yeah, with the space you save in your consist, like I have 10 cars right here. This train is half the length of what it normally would be if I had 10 of the original log cars. These cars are $100 cheaper. They may hold one less car, but they are lighter and more space efficient and easier to run. And are tier 1 cars. Use the Greg high hoppers. Interesting. Yeah, well, there was no thought in terms of balance when these were added too, because these were the hand-favored pick of Captain Choo Choo and his Hawaiian love of cars. And I respect his passion for the Hawaiian Railroad, but these cars did not have anything considered in terms of progression or gameplay difficulty added. Because these cars are just broken. They are way too imbalanced. After seeing Derail Valley, you want to see Railroads Online with Steam Management. You mean Steam Simulation, which is something we don't get at all, period, in this game. Railroads Online is very simple. You stick firewood in firebox and or coal. Black blob coal. In firebox. Hope that you have water that never disappears in your tender. And then you just highball it. That's it. You pull the regulator, you set your reverser, and that's it. There's nothing to it. Yeah, Nasu, that is the one problem with the smaller cars, is the cranes are not precise enough to do mixed loads like that. You would have to do one material and that's it, essentially. Which is not fun. Single material unit trains are a common thing for the first map, because you can get away with doing that, pretty much. But this map, I mean, with the freedom of obviously placing your own industries, you can get away with running more mixed freight, but these cars are not designed for that. They look good when they do it, but they're not designed for it, and they are not easy to do. They're actually incredibly infuriating doing. I'm gonna save real quick, by the way. Back, continue. It seems to have gotten brighter. But yeah, like I said before, by the time we get that log pond filled up, we should hopefully be like level 3 and have enough money for maybe a new engine. Because I will not be moving the Montezuma off this line. My logging line will be 100% dedicated and isolated. So I gotta be able to afford a new engine and at least one piece of rolling stock. Hello, Smokey. Welcome on back. If you guys are just joining on the stream, hello, welcome on in. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hope you guys are all doing a-okay. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. And if you all have been playing the new update, let me know what you guys think. I love hearing people's opinions about this game. I do like the small hoppers. The small hoppers were actually rather, a lot of the freight gives a very European vibe to me. And that's just because in Europe they have a lot of like shorter, more compact freight cars like this. Where obviously in America it's a completely different story. But yeah, it's I like the hoppers for that reason. They look like European hoppers. Still can't figure out how to rotate props. I believe the rotation for props are the same rotation keybinds as your track. Or your track building rotation. Although I could be wrong, and you might just have to go and look at your keybinds. We might honestly actually really only end up running logs today. I don't usually have that much time in the evenings to stream. I do try to get at least 3 hours, but we're already like an hour and a half in. Screw the small oil carts and the giant ones. Screw oil cars to begin with. Crude oil loading is awful. If the hitbox for the car was the actual whole car, it would be so much better. But the whole crude oil loading process is just aggravating. It's as excruciating as loading 32 boxes of tools in a boxcar that you can't see. Actually, I don't think it's 32. I think it's I don't remember what it was. It might be 24. Give us a reason to buy the cattle car. The cattle car just holds tools. A crude oil loading could have been done better. I mean, I get the point of obviously putting the pipe where it needs to be. But it's just the spacing with the pipe and the cars. There's nothing, let me put it this way, there is nothing convenient. There's no quality to loading crude oil at all, period. End of story. That is the most aggravating industry in this game. If you put any sort of marker to help yourself for that, you know, that's the best you can do. I mean, unless you make it like a stub thing and you only do like one car or 2 cars at a time, and that's it. Again, I don't remember how many tools it is. I know that it's ridiculous loading the original boxcar of tools before there was auto loading, because you had to sit there and click and wait and click and wait and click and wait, and you didn't use tools for anything else. Tools only went to the oil field, and that was it. You could sell them at the freight depot, but I mean, they should have been provided and used somewhere else. Rail post signs are a good idea, and it's a good thing we have signs now that do that. Any sort of marker sign. I mean, I remember spending a lot of time placing what you call it, the 90-degree crossovers, the diamond crossovers, just to mark where I thought the cars should be stopping to load and or unload them. Had a whole system too, worked very nicely. Alright, rolling, unload. By the way, we are getting $50 a car. That's $500 per run. Industry level is on difficult, which is why we get so much. We haven't filled up the log pond yet. Yeah, that would be an idea if tools were used to boost the efficiency or production rates of an industry. That I would agree with. There was actually a fun fact. Passengers and or quote-unquote workers, as they were originally concepted, were supposed to do that. But when you consider how much time it takes to run between industries, that it really wouldn't serve too much of an effect unless, say you went and rather than increasing the efficiency, or rather, production rate, you increased the output with the. All right, let me back on the output with the workers and/or passengers. Yay, 2,300. All right, we should be able to get like maybe 2 more runs, depending. I actually do not know. But off we go. Yeah. Yeah, short logs became long logs. Yeah, that's because they were lazy about making diversity in material stock. There's a very simple thing that you could do to, well, I actually can't really call it simple, but what you could do to balance the game's economy and cars in terms of progression is actually with the size of the material, with these smaller cars in particular, because these cars are basically half the length of the original log cars, so in theory you should be getting half of what you get out of these cars in terms of value upon delivery. We don't have a stone industry? No, we don't. Furniture was concepted to be an industry coming in the future. I don't know if that will ever appear. There's a good chance that it might. Especially in correlation with towns. Yeah, the lumber and cordwood ratios on the smaller cars was actually balanced quite properly, but I think even with the way they balanced it, it still turned out to be a much more efficient car than anything else. By the way, guys, if anybody's just watching the stream, we do have a Discord server, which is linked in the description down below. You guys are more than welcome to join that if you would like to. Share your experiences about the game or anything else. We got plenty of wonderful channels and wonderful people. I feel like they also had oil barrels. I think when the new cars came out, they actually were a lot more broken with oil barrels, because I think they had the same amount of barrels as the original car in the smaller cars. So it just became really ridiculous. The Greg box cars can hold barrels. Yeah, that was broken, which I'm assuming they had fixed at some point. because that medium gondola should not have been holding 46 barrels. Wish I got a picture of that. I don't think I did. Pyro, do you have a picture of that car with the 46 barrels? If so, please share that in my Discord. I'd love to see it. Yeah, please share that screenshot. I would love to see it. There you go, King. There's some good ideas for new industries. It won't show more than what's modeled. Ah, okay. That makes sense, though. Yeah, livestock in general, wildlife in general would be nice. Don't have that either. Virtual Chew channel would be nice, Pyro. The virtual Choo channel tends to be where people talk about railroads online because I shut down the railroads online channel that we had. Which honestly, at this point, I'm kind of just obligated to reopen because it's all you guys talk about. Okay, there's some logs actually staying in the pond, so our output of the sawmill is actually full. So we may not get to 3,300, but we'll get close. Assuming we still get money for outputting material. We could also just go through and empty out the sawmill, which would be really annoying to do, but... place a firewood camp and fill that up. That's true. I could do that. Could do that at the logging camp, though. Okay, Pyro. I will take a look at it in a second. Boop. Okay, so they only showed, what is that? 15 barrels in the car, but there would load 46. Interesting. Alright, sorry, getting distracted by my phone there. Yeah, that does look like a comfy loading setup for your oil platform there. Yeah, if you nail that stopping position really well, though, that it seems like you had a good thing there going there, which is awesome. What would I say is the best overall loco in Railroads Online? I would argue still to this day that the Class 70 is still the most well-rounded engine out there. Actually no, I take that back. Because the Class 70 is actually still kind of expensive. If you want to go overall, complete overall, well-rounded, with price in consideration, then the Cook Mogul 260. I don't. Is the Lima the new strongest? I haven't looked at the traction efforts. Ruby Basin is your baby. I won't apologize. You better apologize. That's terrible. Let me look at traction. Oops. Continue. Let's look at traction efforts real quick. Engines. So I was saying the Class 70. Class 70. Let's look at the original Cook 260. Price 4,300. Traction effort 1,100 or 11,000 to 12,000 basically. Versus the Class 70, which is like $1,500 more. With like 5,000 more traction effort. So I mean, I think overall, the original Cook Mogul 260 was still the most well-rounded engine, but my go-to would still be the Class 70. Looking at the Lima is at 19,405. And it doesn't seem like anybody else is up there. The Climax is 17,000. Class 70 was, what were we saying, 15,468? Yeah, so it turns out that the new Lima is the strongest locomotive out there. It's kind of ridiculous, but okay. Yeah, there was a bit of modeling inaccuracy on the new Lima. Is the wood burning cook 260 faster than the coal one? I don't have an answer for that. I do not know. What does Tweetsy mean? I think Tweetsy was the name of one of those engines. Or it's the nickname of the railroad. Yeah, I was hearing claims that the Lima... oh, my music has stopped, actually. Let me fix that. Maybe just realized that. Let's get that going again for you guys. Yeah, I was hearing that the new Lima locomotive was actually modeled off of a modernized version of it, which is not the first time that's happened to an engine in this game, unfortunately. The Climax being another one. No, I think it was the Heisler, actually. Heisler was remodeled at one point very early on because it was modeled after the wrong version. Okay, thank you, Pyro. And that should be good there. Hello, Dolphin. I'm doing A-okay. Is it Tweetsy faster than the Climax? 100%. Climax is a geared locomotive. They're one of the slower ones on the table. I'm going to get up for a second and open a window and turn some air on, so I will BRB. I won't actually be going far at all. Like 5 feet. Yeah, that seems about right. The Climax is still stuck at about the 13-mile mark, and the Tweetsy definitely goes around 30 to 32, I think. Someone might have to correct me on that. It's been a while. Climax is actually not the slowest one. I think the Shay is the slowest engine out there. We actually, when the Shay came out, we did a play session on the Railroads Online original map, the OG map, which you guys have seen a number of times on this channel. Oh, pardon me. My throat's suffering a little bit with how much I've been talking tonight. But yeah, when the Shake came out, we did a run with it on one of the Railroads Online original map sessions. And it took us, I think, 3 hours one way to go from our main yard with rolling stock and then to get down to the smelter. It was 3 hours one way. That was a painful drive, to say the least. And then getting those engines out of that valley afterwards was another horrifying experience. Yeah, Shays are slow. I don't remember. That might be accurate. The Shay may have come out during that time. I do not remember exactly, though. I know it's been a while. Yeah. No, I thought the Glenbrook came out before the Class 48 and the Shay did. I'm almost 90%, 99% sure that Glenbrook came out in its own update. At least I thought it would have. I remember, I remember when the Glenbrook was added into the game, period, in the dev branch, because I was community manager at the time. Yeah, that was a fun devlog to film then. Because I had not looked at anything before recording. I was literally in the middle of my first like raw recording of that devlog, which ended up coming out anyway. And experiencing the Glenbrook for the first time, and I walked up to it, and I was noticing so many things wrong, and it was so hard for me to just like stand there and try to make it look good, because it was suffering and how bad it was in its implementation. There was so much that needed to be fixed, and then it took a lot of months before the Glenbrook came out again. Or that it actually saw, you know, public release. I think too, if I remember, the Glenbrook was when it was added in the dev branch during the Spline update. I believe it originally had its sander bar like in the middle of the boiler for some odd reason. It was so badly put together at the time. And then don't even get me started on the quote-unquote cutoff simulation too that was randomly added one day that I had no idea about. That was such a train wreck. There was two big train wrecks of things that I had to experience when recording the devlogs for Railroads Online. The first was the cutoff simulation for Railroads Online. It was completely just 100% unannounced. Nobody on the team knew that Kiyome was doing it. And then Kiyome comes around one day. He's like, "Oh yeah, there's a new dev branch, by the way," and added a cutoff simulation. And everybody's like, "What in the world are you doing? Adding that?" Like, there was no request for it. There was no desire for it. There was no need for it at the time. A proper cutoff simulation would be welcomed for sure. But you're in the middle of a huge update for the splines. Why are you working on a locomotive mechanic? And that was just awful to show off. And then, yeah, the Glenbrook coming in. Not only was it the Glenbrook coming in during the Spline update, that branch being poorly implemented, but it wasn't. You can still find videos of it. I don't know how much of it actually really shows, and I don't remember if I got any of it in the devlogs, but at one point during the dev branches, there were automatic coupling. There was an automatic coupling mechanic for the cars, meaning that if you pushed one car into another, they would automatically hook up. Which would be fine if they were Knuckles and, you know, you had an option to toggle that, but they weren't Knuckles. They were still Lincoln pin cars, and there were no option to toggle it, which meant shunting cars was infinitely more annoying and tedious. It was another thing that was added during the dev branch that was just it brings pain remembering it. Yeah, Pharma had some fun. I miss working with Pharma when we were both on the team together. There's no better person in this community that breaks Railroads Online than Pharma does. But I don't even think Pharma's got the game installed anymore. But on the bright side, I do hope to see Pharma do the same shenanigans for Century Steam when it comes out. I expect great things. He did actually do something for me in Loco Shortline Operations, and there's a video of it. If you guys look up the forklift race that I did in Loco Shortline with Kerbo, for anybody that's familiar with Kerbo, he's another YouTuber out there that did Railroads Online videos. And me and Kerbo did a forklift race after some shenanigans in a Discord. And we had Pharma build the racetrack for us out of what was in the game already. And Pharma did an amazing job with the tools that he had. And I wish he had done more. But at the same time, I'm glad he didn't, because it took us a few hours of recording to do that race, and that race was a lot harder than what it looked. And I really wish that video had done better than it did. Unfortunately, it didn't. I might have to take like clips out of that and maybe post that to TikTok or something. Because that video deserves a lot more views than what it got. We may get MOW crew content again, but for Steam and Steel. I know nothing about that, but it wouldn't surprise me. Up our little 2% grade here with load. I thought I saw it spitting here. Speaking of Heist just went live for anybody unaware. Stream called Montezuma Mondays. Speaking of Heist and Azuma. Nice. I'm sure that will be a wonderful stream to watch. Was the whole Olympics ever finished? I'm not sure what you're asking there. What do you mean by Olympics? Yeah, by the way, guys, do not ask me to play Steam and Steel or anything Roblox related. I will not touch Roblox, period. Alright, Karen, enjoy the rest of your day or evening. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful day. Oh, hey, look, it's like spitting. And, wow, what a surprise. No rain effect, texture effect on the lake. Ah, the water must be made out of glass. Where is it animated? Actually, it's really hard to tell. I can't really tell. I would get out and we'll have to look when we pull into the logging camp here. All right, Pyro, enjoy. I do not blame you guys if you guys don't want to go watch Heist. Just tell them I said hi. I hope you all have a wonderful, enjoyable stream. Oh, then I don't know. I know nothing about that. I don't know if they ever finished that or whatever. Man, the Zuma is a wimp. Come on. Oh, what happened? I lost a log somewhere. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. Where are we stopped? These cars should not have gone to sleep. Can't believe I lost a log in that one of the deliveries. Yeah, I'm gonna be a log short. What's the 59? Ugh, garbage. Alright, back through the loop. It's fine, it happens. Time to have our lantern out now, just for a little extra light. Actually, do we have any lights on this engine? I don't even think the Zuma has any marker lights now that I'm looking at it. Nope. No marker lights in the Zuma. Simple, because they didn't think it through, Nasu. Also, I don't think, does the Montezuma have a light option? I don't know if it does. Locomotive. This is where I'm gonna end up derailing, probably. Where's the zoom? Where's the zoom? Headlights. Oh, it does have a headlight option. Huh. Yeah, they should have given more. They should have given you the option to begin with to label your starting engine in cars. Because I really hate the Lake Valley Railroad written on the side of the tender. I don't mind Montezuma being there because Montezuma's a nice name. But the cars, at least you could have left the cars unmarked. Even Betsy has a headlight. Does Betsy have it? I didn't think Betsy had a headlight. I know the Porter 2 did. Well, I guess that makes sense that the Porter 1 would. That's stupid. I think I've seen it. Well, downhill fast. Oh, hey, look, there's a floating rock. That's a tree that you can log. Oh, does it, Nasu? That makes sense, though, to be honest. It's becoming dark time. And I can't really tell if it's because of the weather or not. Do I have my entire consist still? I've actually not been paying attention to it. We'll find out later, I guess. It looks like it's all there. I mean, I could actually, I'm planning to leave the Zuma dedicated to the logging railroad, because honestly, I don't need anything more for this. Unless, you know, we're really hammering industries later on with you know, if I have more than one people. Corey, if you want to see my location for the sawmill, we're about to pass it. It's on it's on the flat island in the middle of the lake. Which is quite honestly about the best spot you can have it in this map right now. Leave the Montezuma submerged in the lake? What is wrong with you? It's the Zoom. Don't be rude to the Zuma. Hey, at least it makes sense, sort of. I mean, if the island floods, then your entire industry's ruined, but let's not point that out. Yeah, I know, Nasu. I'll once I get this a little bit more built, you know, I'll have people help run trains, obviously, but we're not there yet, so. CD Trumpet threw the sawmill in the swamp. Oh my god. Although to be fair, there were lumber industries that were in swamps. Let me rephrase that. There were logging industries that were in swamps, not the actual lumber / sawmill. Usually. Could be wrong. There could be, you know, oh, I'm out of pressure. Guys, who forgot to tell me the fuel the zoom? This isn't awkward. It's raining. I'm out of boiler pressure. Oh, I guess there is an actual rain effect to the water. Yeah. That's my location for the sawmill there. And then my iron ore mine is the only good place that I've found. The swamp isn't a bad idea. It's just not great. Dark is DMing me rather than speaking in stream, you lurker. Saying urgent lumber? To tell. Dark, if you have some story about a swamp-based sawmill / lumber company, then please share. I'd be interested in knowing. I would not expect to see such an industry in a swamp other than a logging industry. Anyway, we'll be awkwardly waiting. What are you doing in my swamp? Get out of my swamp! Yeah, I've seen people place the sawmill like on the outer side of the lake, and there's not really any options other than like the swamp side that are like flat that kind of work. But I mean, I don't know. Like I like that it works for the look of the logs. It's just not realistic where I placed mine, but. Dark, how do you not have a YouTube account and not subbed to me? Shame on you. By the way, seriously, how do you not have a YouTube account? I refuse to believe that somebody in this world does not have a YouTube account. At the river would work if the area was flatter. That is true. Actually, at the end of the river would be more ideal than anything else. Like, if you got to here, and there were flat areas on either side, that would actually be better. But, you know. Yeah, unfortunately, Corey, you're not gonna have, that sort of option. Alright, Dark, quit DMing me on Discord, you schmuck. Make a YouTube account and hashtag sub, please. Smile. Love you. Thanks, B. Shwoomp. We got Steam again, boys. It has now become the dark. If you're gonna place anything in the swamp, by the way, like any industry, the logging camp would be the one that I would consider doing. If they added an American Fairly, I don't think there were any. Weren't all Fairleys European? Alright, we were at 2790. There were American Fairleys. Okay. Learn something new every day. Yeah, the logging camp in the swamp is a lot better idea. But again, do what you will. Alright, yeah, I really can't see. This dark is too dark. Try and line up the first car here. Yeah, there were reasons for. I wouldn't be surprised if Heist removed like almost all of his Railroads Online content from his channel. Now that he's announced himself as president of COS. Going back in time here. Did that work? Options, gameplay, time of day, 1600. There we go. Interesting way of doing it, Nasu. Yeah, but starter engine or not, you can eventually work your way out of it. Ice is president of Studio 346, meaning he's the top of the entire company. Not a lead director or anything like that. He owns the whole thing. Just checking some socials real quick while this loads. See, what was that? Is that car loading? There it is. Loading, loading, loading. There's no need to have a firewood depot anymore. Because of that, the wood rick. Or wood rack, as it should be labeled. I don't know if they even fixed that. Did they fix that? Nope, they call it a wood rick still. Wait. You bought Betsy, exited the game, and then got all your money back, and Betsy was still there? Nasu, how did you manage that? Run that again by me? I'm not sure I'm understanding what you did. Well, the firewood depot was designed for one side of it to be the load or the refilling platform by pulling up cars and unloading into it, and then the other side was to be the wood pile that you'd pick up for your engines. So you were supposed to have a track on either side of it originally. Alright, we got 2 more cars in the back. Alright, King, enjoy the rest of your day and or evening. Thank you so much for hanging out. And stopping by and saying hello. Does it look like there's something in the track? I hope that's close enough. Let's see if the cranes actually load this. Oh wow. Is it gonna auto load for me? No. Is my logging camp close to the spawn tracks? Yes, Garen, it is. Alright, you did a quick run of logs to get the headlight. Ran more, saved, exited, and came back the next day, ran a load, and looked, and you had 2,100 bucks. Didn't question it. I don't know if I even still understand what you're saying there. If you found some sort of money bug, I would love to know that. Alright, time for another run. Garen, to show you, my spawn tracks are right over here somewhere. Well, actually, they follow that rail right there. That's broken. Oh yeah, right over there where my crosshair is. So they are very close by. You think it's a bug for first loading into a world as a player? Interesting. If you happen to do any more testing of that, let me know the results. Save. Eyeball. Alright, check to have everything behind us. We do. Oh, I see one of these log camp placements, and it actually looks really nice. And the smelter placement nearby too. Ah, okay. Interesting. Does not surprise me that there's some sort of money bug in the game. Oh yeah, there's our spawn tracks. I actually haven't even looked at our tender to see what our water level is at. And this spyglass is still full, so you know what? I'm not even gonna look at it. Da-na-na-na-na. I might end up doing some redesigning in that area at some point. I miss my original railroad. I wish I could bring that back into new splines and have it look the way it should. Because the nice double-tracked mains it had were just beautiful. Especially considering they were old splines and they were, like, perfect. Saved, exited, loaded, next day, money back, bet you still existed. Yeah, Garen, I don't know if I'll get into that level of detail anytime soon for messing with the props. I'll most likely just establish the railroad first and kind of go from there and decorate when, you know, I feel appropriate. Yeah, I don't know, Nasu. But yeah, don't get me wrong, Garen. I will probably definitely decorate at some point, if the mood ever strikes. But a lot of the props don't even look right to me, for the most part, so I don't know really how much I'll invest in it. Nice, Garen. Sounds like you just need the smelter connected then. The smelter connection is the fun one. And by fun I mean difficult, but still fun. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I have 10 cars. Beep cordwood. You mean cordwood? Just it. I actually have to pay attention to the amount of logs in the lake. So 79, 84, 89, 94, 99. Okay. Alright, we're at 99 logs. So the next thing I gotta pay attention to is there's 100 logs. Now, do I get money or... Oh, it's literally not letting me unload. Ah, okay. So you can't physically load any more. You can't overload it just to make money. Okay. I actually love how these logs look here. Alright, so we have a full thing here. So what to do. Let's first run our train back, I guess. Let me check brakes. Nope. 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 No. No. There we go. The Railroads Online original map is amazing. I don't know what you're talking about. I genuinely love that map. That map is a community treasure. And a development treasure, too. A save game here. Game saved. It's being stuck on tier 1. Well. Yeah, the OG map has everything it needs, though. Pretty sight right there. I'm actually pulling some load with me, so I hope I actually make it up these 2%. Oh, okay. Alright, what can we do with... What do we have? 3,200. What can we do engine-wise for 32? We can't even get the 10 mile. We're $200 short. Eureka for 29. Glenbrook for 31. Chrysler. Oh, what was that? The Shea for 2,500. Oh, yeah. Nice, Nasu. Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to make some financial decisions on what we're doing here at this railroad. Because I have 3,200 and I feel like I'm $100 short than what I thought I would be. And I don't know where... Oh, you know what? I'm also limited by my level too, which is not helpful. Well, Garen, we already have a Montezuma. It just doesn't have a headlamp, and I don't really want to buy another Zuma. Let's just get back to our logging camp first before we decide anything. The alternative is that we can also just unload the sawmill a little bit and just grind logs for more money, because I don't have the freight depot hooked up anywhere. It's also very foggy right now. Light on, light off. Light on, light off. Light on, light off. Light on, light off. Zuma go zoom. Buy a Betsy. I don't do anything. I wanna buy a Betsy. Don't make me do it. I also have to consider where I'm building next too. Now that I'm thinking about it. Cause we have to take... Well, I guess actually the next place we go is the iron ore mine. And then we gotta go to the smelter. So I actually have no idea what I'm going to even do. The iron ore mine needs the lumber and beams, which would be good, because it would be a nice grind for money on a hard industry run. Get the Glenbrook to have some speed. The only problem is I'm going to be like $100 short of buying a new car. And I don't think the traction effort's there that I need. So I would need like something closer to like 3,500, 3,400 to get away with buying the Glenbrook in a single tier 2 car. Foggy Lake. Yeah, my highest grade is, oh, I try to keep it 2%. I don't know if I'll ever go past that, but yeah, if I can keep it 2%, that'd be nice. Place a temporary depot and sell wood. I mean, I wouldn't have to do temporary because I do have 2 freight depots and they would be south of us. Yeah, my 2 alternatives is like I can build another logging line to the smelter for cordwood, because cordwood is the only place where that smelter where it goes. Bro, if I could isolate cordwood, that would be wonderful, but I can't do that. Yeah, I don't have any tracks built other than the one that we've been riding on, Garen. We're still very early on in this playthrough. The update only came out yesterday, so we haven't really done much yet. Where is that number coming from? No, Garen, we'll build our lines. We haven't gotten there yet. I just haven't put enough time in the world yet. We're gonna go around our loop and sliding to one of our sidings for now. Could buy the Eureka, but I haven't bought a Eureka since my very first playthrough of this game. Oh, interesting, Nasu. It's a nice, helpful resource, sounds like. Yeah, I don't think we'll see that kind of customization anytime soon with the industries, if at all. Alright, we're gonna slide into like the first siding here. Oops, we're overextending here. I feel like we can absolutely fit in the siding. Or at least we should be able to fit in the siding. Do a save real quick. Yeah, every now and again there are some train and freight calculators that come about, and they do tend to be good most of the time, so they are nice resources to have. Alright, let's look at our options. We have $3,200 and we're tier 3. Okay. Locomotives. Tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 2, 1. Glenbrook is a tier 2. Is there anything tier 3? Mosca's a tier... Wait, really? Mosca's a tier 3? $3,600. Mosca actually... Mosca's a lot weaker than I thought it was. Tier 4, tier 6, 7. Ah, wait. Is the Lima a new tier? A tier 7? You can try to, Nasu. I don't know if it will yeet you or not. Alright, we could buy Betsy if we wanted to. I don't know if I really want to. 28 over 36. Yeah, Betsy would be weaker than the Zuma. Class 48 would be in reach if we had a little bit more money. 10 mile, same story. We're like $200 short on the 10 mile. 10 mile actually would have been, or the Mason Bogey would have been a nice pick, to be honest. Eureka. Glenbrook. Eureka would... I really hate to say it. I don't want to buy the Eureka, but it looks like the best option for our money right now. Other than the Glenbrook would be a $400 no, not 400. $200 difference for 2,000 more pounds of traction effort. That tender plays a factor. Oh, yeah, the 10 miles coal too, or the Mason Bogey's coal. DNRG class 48. Eureka. I can go to Glenbrook, but I don't have the money for a car because Glenbrook is 31, and there's none of these great cars are $100. I need something that holds lumber and beams. Why does... Oh, raw iron is the iron bars, not the actual raw iron is in the ore. I keep forgetting that. Yeah, I'm like literally... I'm $100 short of having the ability to, you know, buy a decent car here. Oh, 200 for the skeleton car. 250 for the actual flat car for this. So 250 over 200, this would hold... Wait, hold on. This holds 6 lumber and 3 beams. What does this hold then for lumber and beams? So if this holds 3 beams still, that's actually a really good value to its money. The lumber though, I know it's only 2. Maybe it only holds 2 beams. I'd only hold 2 beams. Alright. 250 would put us way out of the ballpark for what we need. Which actually means even with the Eureka, I would not be 3 beams and 3 lumber. Really? That thing holds 3... Huh? Bro. Alright, I want the Glenbrook. I love... The Glenbrook just looks and feels better. But would leave us only with $100, and I don't know. Because we can't do anything with logs other than deliver them to the freight depot and or sawmill. So, I mean, worst case scenario, we literally just buy the Glenbrook, empty the sawmill out a little bit, and then do a few more runs, which I really don't want to do. Buy an engine in a car. Yeah, we do have the... I really don't want to do that, but hold on. Firewood Depot. I love how we have advanced options for placing... Oh no, I can't rotate this. Okay, hold on, never mind. I was gonna, like, insult this for a second. I can't see where whatever I need here. Or can tell if this is actually parallel with the track. That looks parallel. Okay. I'll just go like that for the moment. I don't think this is gonna get me enough. It leaves me $10 short of 3,300. All right, you know what? We're gonna facilities. Delete that. There we go. I'll go and put let's move this forward. I'll go and put a logging firewood depot on the other side of the logs like I used to do on the older maps. I don't know if I can afford a headlight for the Glenbrook. Alright, we're just gonna stop anywhere among that area. Oh yeah, no, I'm aware it needs to touch cars, for sure. That's nothing new there. That's been an age-old thing. The only thing is I have to get rid of this. Oh, I actually almost just... I need to stop. Oh, not all. Nope. Groundwork. They really, really need to change the filters for the delete tool. Alright, this seems like it's gonna want to be a pain to place. Oh, okay, cool. Nice. So we're just gonna... That's not gonna auto. Really, guys? I might have to adjust that. If I can just get this to auto load, I'll be happy camper. Yes, I know, Kenosha's playing. Shh. Really? You're not gonna auto load? Why? Oh, please don't start loading that car. Really? Alright, well, you know what? It's auto-loading, so we'll take it. No, it doesn't love me. Story of my life. It's fine. It's a really slow way of cheesing some money here. Hey, stacking logs, smile. Did these unload? Oh yeah, that's got us money. How much money do we get for filling the logging camp? Needs 32 longs. That should get us... I don't even know. I don't feel like doing the math. No, no, I'm not using the extender for that. Okay. Well, while this is doing its thing, we'll buy ourselves the Glenbrook. Not the Mason. Glenbrook. Name? Glenbrook. Railroad. I don't know what number to put in here. I'll put number 7. Why not? You said last headlight too, for... Oh, the headlight actually didn't cost anything. Smokestack 50. 4 or 5. I think I gotta go 4 on that. Paint. I'm gonna go 7 on this. $31.60. $380. Buy ourselves a tier 2. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna refrain from labeling the cars, period. I do like Pepsi colors. I love Pepsi. Why is this not auto-loading? Unpainted tier 2 car. Yeah, I don't care for the paints on the cars. I'm very used to just seeing the unpainted ones. They still look great to me. Alright, I have $200. Well, this... Huh. They also stopped the... They stopped this from actually being a thing that you could overfill as well. Alright, facilities. There we go. I have to be very careful not to delete the logging camp there. Alright, might as well let that continue loading. Nah, Pepsi for life. Don't at me. Hindsight, I probably should have bought the car first before the engine, because now I know that engine's gonna spawn, or has spawned behind the car. So we're gonna back this up. Beep beep. The 260 Cook, the coal one, I believe, not the original, has a blue paint, and it's obnoxious and never existed. I have no idea why they added it in the game, but it's there. And it's painful that it exists. Parking. Good enough for government work. Alright, let's go back to our spawn point. Yeah, see? Alright, there she be, our beautiful Glenbrook for the Derp Railroad. Baby, baby. The last... Why is the star there on the number? Come on, guys. Really? Really? Did you all have to fuck up the builder's plate like this? Anyway, there's our Glenbrook with the star crossed 7. And our tier 2 flat car. So, yeah, with that said, guys, I'm going to have to call it quits for tonight's stream. We're actually over our usual time by like 20 minutes. So, with that said, guys, thank you all so much for watching. It's always a pleasure. Moving forward this week, you guys can expect to see a stream on Thursday, maybe Wednesday. Definitely not tomorrow. There will be a new game coming out that I will be getting and streaming. And I am looking forward to it. After that, we'll see where the week goes. I don't know where that's going. But until then, guys, please feel free to check out our Discord server. There's a link for it in the description down below, as always. And there will be content posted on other platforms as well moving forward. So you all can look out for that. But until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. It has been a pleasure. Until next time, guys, please enjoy. And let me know if you all want to keep seeing some more Railroads Online, Lake Valley, Derp Railroad. But we'll catch you guys then.